Hello everyone, my name is mcpe and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. Today I am going to be teaching you all how to end raid if you haven't done it already, so let's get on with it. First things first, you are going to want to have killed the ender dragon. This might be quite hard for some of you, but once you have this done, the end raiding part is actually a lot of fun. So, after killing the dragon, your gear probably looks something like this. I'm not going to make any assumptions on how long it takes you to kill the dragon, but for me this is around average. Anyway, the first thing that you want to do is actually kill off some endermen like this. So you want to build a too high area so that the enderman can't reach you, and you just want to kill off some endermen just like this. If you have looting on your sword, then you can get some more ender pearls as well, but ender pearls will be very helpful for end raiding. So what you want to do is just build this too high area and whack a load of endermen from underneath it. So I reckon you should aim to get around 16 ender pearls. Of course you can get more if you want, but I'd say minimum 16. Next, what you want to do is find the gateway that will have spawned after killing the ender dragon. This can be quite hard to get to, which is why I suggest that you bring some endstone with you. I suggest bringing endstone and not any other block, because if you have the endstone in your inventory and you need to quickly grab it, then you can just pick block it and it'll go straight into your hand, because all of the islands are made of endstone. One final thing that I think you should grab before you head off an end raid is a water bucket. This is possibly the best item in the game in my opinion. It is very underrated and you should definitely grab one. I'll explain why in a sec. So what you want to do is come to the corner of your end gateway, so you look up and that's in the corner, and then you just want to pillar up like so until you reach it. So, once you've reached your end gateway, what you want to do is get one of your ender pearls and throw it into it like so, and as you can see, you get teleported to the outer end islands. It might be worth noting the coordinates to this gateway here so that you know where to get back home. There are other gateways that spawn all around the outer end islands just in case, but I reckon you should write down the coordinates to this one. Now, straight away we are seeing why you brought a water bucket with you. Endermen take damage in water, so if you place water and surround yourself with it, an enderman will not be able to reach you, and therefore it is a very quick way of stopping an enderman from being able to attack you. Another thing I suggest grabbing while you're here is some chorus fruit. Because a chorus fruit works by teleporting you to a random location on the island, what you can actually do is eat one as you're falling into the void and it will teleport you back onto the island and you will be safe. Obviously though, just try not to fall into the void in the first place. Maybe don't rely on this in case you can't eat it in time. The next reason why you brought ender pearls with you is because it is very easy to transport yourself around the end using them. So as you can see, yes, you do take a little bit of damage, but it is a very fast way of getting around. The next thing that I suggest you do if you want to find an end city quicker is to go into your settings and then video and turn your render distance up to the highest it can go. In my case, I can actually go up to 80 chunks, which means I can see over 1,000 blocks off into the distance, 1,024 to be exact. But if you're on a lower end device like a phone, you might not be able to go this high, but even so, I still suggest turning it up to the highest it can go, as this makes finding end cities a lot easier. As you can see over there in the distance, that is an end city. I'll just zoom in on the editor there, and as you can see, there's an end city all the way over there. There's another one next to it. We're going to head in that direction. Now, one thing that a lot of people don't like about the end is the fact that you have to do a lot of bridging like so. Now, I recommend you take this slowly, or otherwise you will find yourself in the void. Just be really careful, especially if you're playing on the highest render distance. Your device may lag a little bit, so you're just going to want to make sure that you're taking this nice and slow. Make sure that your bridges are regular and consistent, or otherwise, if you have to go back across them, you might find yourself in the void, so just be careful when you're doing this. I'd say that once you got close enough to the island that you want to get to, you can ender pearl, but do not ender pearl too far away, or otherwise you could hit the edge and actually fall into the void, and that would not be very fun. Another thing that can work quite well for teleporting between islands is actually pillaring up fairly high and then throwing an ender pearl. The ender pearl will be able to make it further and you will end up at the next island. So finally, when you make it to the end city, what you want to do is, if the end city has a boat, you want to head straight over to that. So what you want to do is actually just start pillaring straight up to the end city ship like so. And then what you want to do is just break into it like so. I'm going to be using the water bucket for this as it does make it easier. Now you're inside the ship, what you will see is a shulker guarding an elytra there like so. An elytra is a piece of armor that allows you to actually fly in survival in the game if you are not aware, and it is very, very helpful. So what you want to do is just kill that shulker real quick, grab your elytra and put them on straight away. In these two chests you might find yourself some better armor. Personally, I don't take any armor that has Curse of Vanishing or Curse of Binding on it, but everything else is pretty fair game. Now, before you begin your end raid, what I suggest you do is actually take some rockets with you. This is so that you can actually use the elytra to fly around. Now, to take off with elytra, what you want to do is actually jump and then fly at the same time. So you do something a bit like this. If I just go into third person, you do something like that, and in the time that you are flying, after your jump, you want to actually use a rocket, and that will allow you to take off from the ground. This can take a while to get the hang of, but once you've learned it, it's very, very, very helpful. Now, the first tower that I suggest you head over to is this one here. So in this end city there is only one loot tower, and that's this one here. It's got a chest and an ender chest on the inside. The reason why I suggest that you head over to one of these first is so that you can deposit any valuables that you get in that end city ship straight into your ender chest, which is up here. Also, there's a loot chest next to it, that's a bit of a bonus. If you brought a Silk Touch pickaxe with you or found one, then you can actually mine this ender chest like so and take it with you. This can be very, very helpful for any valuables that you find. As they drop items called shulker shells, which can be crafted into shulker boxes, which have a very special use that I'll tell you in a bit. What I suggest you do is you take care of all of the shulker boxes in the end city before you go over to the next one. If you want to make that process a lot easier, on my website there is actually a resource pack that makes shulkers a lot more visible. It will actually make them red instead of purple, so they no longer blend into the environment of the end city. So as you can see, all of the shulkers are now red, which makes them a lot easier to find. It also makes the shulker shell item red, so that when they drop on the floor you can actually see them more clearly as well, so this is definitely worth getting. Once you've killed all of the shulkers in that end city, you can head over to the next one. What I like to do to show that an end city has been looted is come to the front of the boat and break the dragon head, because this means that someone's already been here, and also you get a cool dragon head, which is fun to wear with your elytra, and also it's comically massive. Now, it is worth mentioning that not all end cities have ships, so not all end cities have an elytra. However, it is still worth going to every single end city that you find, as they may still have loot towers. This is the second loot tower that you have not seen yet, this one here. As you can see, you walk inside and there are two chests and a tower full of shulkers there. What you want to do is come to this corner here, loot the chests, grab everything that you might want, and then you can equip it and then go and battle the shulkers here like so. For these towers I recommend using a bow to kill all of the shulkers. This does however mean that you will not get the looting effect on the shulkers, so it's a game that you need to play. Would you prefer to risk your life more but get more shulker shells, or would you prefer to play it safe and get less? The quickest way to enter an end city ship is by breaking the glass here and then killing the shulker at the front just like that. If you are quick, then you can actually do it before that shulker is even able to fire a single shot. If a shulker shot hits you, it will affect you with the status effect called levitation. This will make you slowly float up. It's not so much of a problem if you have an elytra, but it's still worth practicing your MLG water bucket skills just in case, because it might come in handy. Nailed it! The most effective armor for end raiding is full projectile protection armor. As shulkers deal a lot of damage with their levitation bullets, projectile protection will actually minimize the amount of damage done by those shots. Once you're satisfied with the amount of loot that you've got from your end raid, what you want to do is find one of these gateways, pillar up to it, and ender pearl straight in like so. This will take you back to the main island where you can fly over to the portal and back into the overworld. Don't forget to grab your dragon egg on the way though. What a shulker box is able to do is you can store all your items in it, and then you can actually break it and keep it in your inventory. It's like a backpack, and then actually you can store these in your ender chest as well if you want to be really space efficient. So what you can have is a ender chest full of shulker boxes, and this will actually increase the amount of storage you can have in your ender chest to 46,656 items, which is pretty insane. Anyway, I hope this guide was very helpful to a few of you. If you did enjoy, then please do hit the like button down below, and also subscribe if you really liked it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.